Looks like he is finding the form that we saw from him in the LPL proper. Now, AL back onto the blue side. FlyQuest elected to go onto red. That's our first question answered. The second question that we have to ask is, what is going to be let through the draft? Ezreal banned from FlyQuest themselves, alongside the Annie. Cassio and Renekton still on the bench, as AL have been relegating them there pretty much every game.
Okay, so the Ezreal ban here, banning away some of the safety carries really early on. Maybe they want to go with a full send dive sort of comp or something here.
Kai'Sa's still available, if I remember correctly. MF as well. An AD carry we haven't seen yet this draft, this series. Sorry, there's the MF banned away by anyone's legend. So where will FlyQuest decide that they need to utilize their final ban? Who knows?
Yeah, see if it is, focus more towards that Kai'Sa. Because the Kai'Sa definitely rising quite a lot in priority. There's a lot of things still available that work well with it. The Nautilus was not used early on in this series. So as far as those engaged supports do go, the Nautilus and the Leona very high, and there it is. Yeah, they don't want to leave that one hanging either, Medic.
It makes sense. A big focus on those AD carries getting banned away. Lucian, though, available. Something we've seen banned a couple of times by AL away from Masu. But AL will get their hands on it this game. I don't think we've seen Hope on it this split at all. So obviously something he'll be comfortable on. Lots of AD carriers. Oh, he's got 3 games on it. I was just overlooking him between the Jinx and the Ziggs. FlyQuest, you gonna go for Elise? I think not. I think Nautilus perhaps is slightly more up your alley for this series.
Yeah, because you really need something to pin this Lucian down. Lucian, really big strengths, of course, are rotating into mid lane and having the culling poke, but also so mobile there. So having Nautilus point and click CC, definitely a very quick grab in this one, especially since Braum was already used, so that Braum counter answer isn't going to be there. Of course, Leona is that option. And they go for the Ziggs, which is a really good pairing, with Nautilus on the bot side, but definitely still can be a flex pick for the team.
It also opens up the idea of AD mids, which is something we haven't seen a lot in this series. And Yone is the pick that I always think about when I go towards AD mids. Neither of these mid laners really playing it too much. I think Shanks has 4 games on it and Quad has 1. But we haven't seen it banned. We haven't seen it picked. Obviously, neither team prioritizing it that much. When you have an AP bot laner, getting some mixed damage across the rest of the map makes sense.
So do they want... Bwipo has played a lot of counters into Mbessa, so they don't have to pick his counter now, but he really has, the volley bearer and a lot of very different things into it, so... Poppy value, Poppy
Leona,
value.
Lucian, Mbessa. I am vibing with a Poppy right now.
Poppy value is really high.
Okay, you're not Sniper. Come on, give us a Poppy. Lee Sin obviously does have a lot of ability to be a playmaker. We've only seen it from Canyon so far here at MSI, but he absolutely schooled G2 on it yesterday. Don't think we've seen it from Inspired. We saw it once this spring. Once.
Yeah, and he is a very good Lee Sin here and can go for some extra burst damage with this combo too. You definitely are looking at trying to get that other AD jungle. And so now you have to think Tarzan's going to have to soak a lot of bans with jungle getting kind of shallow here. So stealing away this Lee Sin, what are they most worried about as far as pick? Okay, so Nocturne, side lane pressure here. Good little safety one.
You think about AP jungle at all, or do you think it's fine? You just pick an AP mid laner and then you can do a traditional AD jungler here for AL? Because we have seen Tarzan on things like the Lilia. Maokai still available as well, although that's kind of fallen out of priority for a lot of people, but you can go Liandry's into Bloodletter's Curse and have a good amount of magic damage.
Yeah, definitely still an option. The Nidalee always an option too.
True.
And they do have the Leona for primary engage, so
we'll see where they decide to go. FlyQuest got rid of the Nocturne. Hui taken away by AL. FlyQuest likely looking towards a Tarzan ban once again. And
there's another one of the ADs.
Okay. Little bit of respect there to
the
Tarzan.
way he got here with that Zed play, that is definitely deserved. Meanwhile, what are we worried about here for Quad in the mid lane? They already were not, taking down any of the other AD mid laners that were up, so they're not too worried about it.
I mean, the Smolder ban kind of, it's an AD bot laner, can also be played mid, although we see it much more down towards that bottom lane. It's that flexibility of the Ziggs that you were talking about before.
Yeah, they could. So they could do with Smolder ban, I mean, maybe like a Yone and an AP jungle that you were floating around if they go.
Well, you have the Lee now, right? So you'd want AP top or AP mid, assuming the Lee is going jungle.
I'm talking about from AL's perspective.
You're that makes sense.
AL's perspective could go, because they're the ones that ban the Smolder, so they could go the Yone and then go for solo AP for Tarzan. The Shen here comes out. Okay, the taunt damage got nerfed a little bit, but still very good.
It's tricky.
Playing around with it. They have so many options here. I mean, Mbessa plus Aurora puts so much pressure on flanks. And since Leona here from such long range can kind of pinpoint with that ultimate, nice bit of pressure here from AL.
Yeah, those team fight, like the ability to get onto the back line from AL is absolutely massive. It looks like they might be going for the Poppy themselves. They know they have enough damage with Aurora, Lucian, and the Ambessa. Poppy gives you a bit more utility, stops the Lee Sin obviously in his tracks, stops the Shen, stops the Nautilus from hooking in. It can be a very strong pick, and it is locked in here for Tarzan.
Man, Poppy's so good too, just for the objective fights. Popping people out here, but final answer for Quad into the undefeated this year for Shanks Aurora pick. This Aurora pick has been flexed between Flandre and Shanks, both of them. This year have been undefeated on it, both of them, with 5-0 score lines for it. And Shanks is going to be the one piloting it this time around. So has been such a successful pick for them.
Speaking of eclectic picks, it's the Shen for Bwipo in the top lane. 3-8 on it all time. Hasn't won on it since Worlds 2019. So it's been a while since we have seen him win on this. It's been a while since, obviously, he's not picking it that frequently either. 12 games across his history as a player. It's not too often. For FlyQuest, though, it's do or die. Need to win this game to take us to that game 5. Obviously, if they lose, they will still play against G2 in the lower bracket, which is a matchup I'm pretty sure we all want to see. For AL, they're looking for a date with the LCK. Genji Lai waiting for the winner of this series. For non-subscribers, we'll see you in 30 seconds as the coaches go back to their ready rooms and the players prepare to take on Summoner's Rift.
All right, Bwipo Shen, here we go. Let's see how much of a factor that Stand United will be in this game. Because AL, they do have strong side lane picks for their solo lanes, strong flanking angles to look for. FlyQuest, do they have enough to push us to a game number 5?
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
A question that rings through the Pacific Coliseum right now. Or is it just a repeat of yesterday? On the West, bested 3-1. Just as G2 were bested 3-1 after winning game 1 against Genji. Hope running the cleanse here on the Lucian. We don't see an unsealed spellbook from Kael, whereas Busio is running one on this Nautilus. Triple TP plus a Nautilus TP is a scary proposition for AL when it comes to looking to play around ganks, because obviously those teleports can quickly react, and FlyQuest have a number of them at their disposal.
Also a surprising amount of burst damage in Ziggs Nautilus lane, so we'll see if they do get any action towards the bottom lane early on. Bwipo moves up, okay, for the top side war here on blue Cromp to see Tarzan's pathing.
And they will know that he's starting towards this top side and pathing down towards bot. Inspired's going to start on his Razorbeaks, the Tempest Cripple. That E really powerful at clearing the multi-camps. And so on the Lee, you want to get through those first. Shanks and Quad just going to trade early on. Double Electrocute in the mid lane, both of them proccing that. And their first rotations on the wave.
Yeah, and for Aurora, it was so nice on this patch to get the extra magic resist and a little bit of extra damage on the ultimate too. So huge burst damage potential later on. But on the top side, Shen actually has really strong early levels. So Bwipo can position aggressively there, go for these Q trades, trying to push towards, get his grasp procs going, gets his level 2 priority. over the Ambessa.
Shank's getting cryo in the mid lane as well. Twofold Hex takes Quad down to 150 HP. He'll be fine. He has a pot running, has another one in his inventory if he needs it, but already being chunked out quite a lot. Shanks is very happy with the way this this lane is going.
Yeah, very good on this champion. Especially into the likes of this matchup here with the electrocute buffs as well. The burst damage looking so good. So mid lane getting pushed in here for FlyQuest. Inspired actually did the 3-camp recall clear for his extra longsword. And I want to see what he goes to try and use that extra long sword power for towards the bottom side. Because we mentioned, you know, Ziggs and Nautilus have so much setup and a decent amount of burst damage. So he has the options of like either trying to go make the play on bottom side with his, you know, sword advantage, or maybe trying to do something towards mid, like and get the flash or something if they could get some sort of setup.
I do like the play towards bot. Like, Nautilus has 4 forms of CC in his kit, as the slow, the root, the hook, and then the knocker from the depth charge. Obviously, it doesn't have that yet, but you just have so many opportunities to catch people out if that Nautilus can get on top of someone. Obviously, the Ziggs damage scales really well with items, as most AP champions do.
Position away from the wall there, so if...
Oh, still going to get the knock up. Dredge line coming out onto Tarzan. Kyle and the corner. Zenith Blade doesn't connect as Quad is forced out of the mid lane. Kyle stepping forward. Hope coming in from the side as well as they look for the Shield of Daybreak. Can't land it. Kyle will just oracles and they'll clear out the vision. The Scuttle Crab secured for Tarzan. He might just path straight up towards the top side one as well as held onto his smite through this.
Yeah, mid lane priority really being the determining factor there. Shanks has the inside route, and since Quad was down his health potion, they have to cede the fight. Early kind of little skirmish there was fairly even, but mid prio determines everything for those sides of things, and Quad is already hurting here. So the CS deficit going to be a bit rough for this Ahri.
But there's a CS lead for Whippo on the top side, 10 farm ahead right there. We'll say Hope is having a bit of a whale of a time down towards the bottom lane right now. 11 CS up, depending on what time you look at that scoreboard. Obviously, the Zig's much better when you can get that lost chapter, have a little bit of mana to just push through the wave. Masu knocked in there. I can only assume he went in with the satchel and he's dead for it. Pop the flash as well.
Yeah, we got the pan over on the camera as he was jumping in.
Yeah. Maybe just thought he could kill off Kyle, but he's going to lose the wave and lose his life alongside it. Does have the TP, so can TP down there now. Inspired's looking up towards the top side as we see Tarzan shadowing around mid. Was spotted on vision. Good flash away from Flandre there. Whippo setting up for the taunt flash combo.
Yeah, exactly. Nice reaction speeds there. I kind of want to see, like you said, the beginning of the bottom side play though, because AL, They have pushed mid and on bottom side. Let's take a look. Kyle from Brush. Oh, he wanted to satchel him off of him, and the positioning was just...
Yeah, one of those. Shield of Daybreak just comes in right at the right moment. Public execution from Flandre here. Whippo will get the taunt off. Flandre not going to tower dive Whippo, so in the end, in exchange of an ultimate for some of Whippo's health bar, but nothing much more. Whippo still has the TP as well. Flandre will get the wave shoved in here. Whippo's actually going to stay around, hit 6 now, and has that stand united.
All right, maybe that can be the play then for FlyQuest. They're looking on the bottom side again. The opening here, so good for AL. Hope with that money.
Lucio flashes, Hope dashes. And the connection is not made for FlyQuest. Satchel charge down onto Hope, but Kyle body blocking for his AD carry.
Yeah, good angle on that flash there. Hope hugging the wall, so you know nothing can bend around there. Yeah,
it's tricky for FlyQuest because obviously trying to get Inspired into a good position. Has the pickaxe, Tarzan coming across now, but as soon as Tarzan's there, it's a little bit trickier for Inspired to really play. Hope trading with Master down towards the bottom side. The Satchel Charge is going to knock him back. PCO looking for the hook. The barrier onto Stand United, in fact, onto Master, but he's down, and the Shen can't join yet. Inspired looking at the damage towards the top side. Will kill off Tarzan, and now can chase onto Hope. He's done with the Shield of Daybreak. Hope cleanses away, and Inspired flashes. Inspired stepping back, wants a little bit more of the action, but can't find the Sonic Wave. And in the end, it's a 2-for-1 exchange. in favor of FlyQuest.
Whoa, the scrapping continues. They just force it on the bottom side. Even after, Busio goes for the flash play and Hope is able to hug the wall, stay safe. They just continue to force to really create something there. The extra kill going over, I mean, Inspired doing work over on the Poppy on the opposite side and getting that flash down, plus getting to his level 6 here. Inspired has always been so critical for this FlyQuest team, and he sits around in the brush. The Scryer's bloom that got popped over did see, and so Inspired brush camp pays off, as you see on the top side, getting big chunks of damage onto Tarzan, who still wanted to come in because the other side of the fight between Hope is going so close with Masu. But it allows Inspired there to wait out the W, then go for his Q, gets the kill in addition to the flash. It's still so close there as he barely flashes away. So this bottom side skirmish, just picture for picture there, so close.
On a knife edge between the two of them. Meanwhile, rest of the map relatively even as well. Hope does have a 500 gold lead over Masu because obviously he picked up that kill. Busio and Inspired picked up the kills for FlyQuest, and Masu has been forced just into a little bit more of a defensive position in the spot lane. Has the Lost Chapter now though, so he can just push out the wave whenever he wants to. I wonder if we'll see Hope move up towards the mid lane and put Shanks down towards that bottom side. Does have the TP coming back off cooldown relatively soon. FlyQuest playing around the mid lane vision, but the Grubs once again secured for anyone's legend. They can get a side laner in a strong position. This Ambessa, obviously the most obvious target for that. It'll be hard for FlyQuest to stop the push from coming out.
Yeah, it's going to try and get something for themselves during that time. So with the move over into priority on red buff, they at least steal away that. Tarzan will be very happy though with his grub pack for AL later on. Of course, later when the Ambessa and the Aurora are out to the sidelines. And that Aurora that we highlighted here, Shanks starting off to another good game. Because last game on the Azir,
1,200 damage a minute. That is absurd. Obviously helps when you're playing 5v5 teamfights later on the Azir, but Shanks having an absolute blinder there in game 3. Drake secured though for FlyQuest. Will have their first on the board 4 minutes earlier than we saw one taken in game 3. It's a Chem Drake next as well, which means we won't get that soul. Bripper going in, pots the Spirit's Refuge, as Flandre tries to trade back, but difficult to do that when you like to auto attack and the enemy is stopping you from getting any damage down with your autos.
Yep, scaling up there in the side lane for the Ambessa. We'll see if they can actually make one of those big Stand United plays with it coming back off cooldown in a few seconds here. But the summoner spells have come back off of cooldown for those carries on the bottom side of the map, so a lot more safety, a lot more mobility there. And it is just going to be the Scuttle Crab for now.
Spud will be able to take that. Shanks with a push in mid. Seems like he's just going to back away off that. Does have the TP back up. Hope continues just to catch the waves in bot, and feels like both teams willing just to ping pong these waves back and forth for now. It's nothing really to play over or play around on the map. You know, you've got 4.5 minutes on a Rifthold, you have 4 minutes on a Drake. Just get towards those first items as quickly as you can.
Yeah, waiting on that cooldown as well for the teleport for Bwipo. It feels so much better once you have your teleport cooldown ready to go for a Stand United play, so you know you can actually get back and not give up too much.
The good thing for FlyQuest is if Bwipo did go for a Stand United play, Masu or Quad can TP up there, so you can just shift, basically, right? Bwipo Stand United's bot lane, Masu then TPs up to top, or Masu catches mid, and Quad goes up towards the top side, right? Who has just finished his Rod of Ages. Luden's now as well for Masu, so first items starting to be completed. Shanks has gone double haunting guys, which the multiple mask build is one we have seen around. Doesn't always go as effectively as you'd like it to, but does give you big damage amp in those early fights.
Yeah, it gains so much. Wait, I hate it with Quad though.
Quad, Kyle flashes forward, the stun into the wall. Quad just walk back into the bush. The knockup from Inspired coming out as well as he looks for the chase onto Tarzan. Kyle goes back in, the Mega Inferno going to do a lot of work. Inspired though dies even after flashing. Shanks with a double. The chase continues onto Busio as Hope looks for him. Triple. The piercing light enough. Shanks takes a triple. And AL win out the fight.
Oh man, we ran the Shanks graphic too early. Now he's got a triple kill under his belt. The Aurora burst damage is gonna be insane. And I was just gonna say, yeah, the double mass build got so much popularity when they buffed up the Bloodletter's Curse, but here's another look at it as Tarzan and Shanks, because there was no minion wave there.
They're not seen.
Yeah, they were not seen. And so Quad goes back in because they think they're starting their own play with Inspired and Busio rotating here first, but AL were there first. So that's why they get the big advantage. Then still, a lot of big AoE comes through from the Ziggs, but the flash away from Inspire does not let him live. They had vision there for AL, the ward over the side. And they still get their kill and they get their chase down, and all three going into Shanks' pockets. He wants to make that Aurora 6-0 on the year.
Just buy more masks, man. Obviously working out for you so far. 1,000 gold lead now for him. Flandre as well, getting a bit of gold for himself. The Stand United was used in that play. Didn't quite see who it was on from Whippo, but unable to save their lives. As Shanks now with quite a lot of gold from those kills, almost 1,000 at the 13-minute mark.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a very rich Aurora. And Aurora becomes a big problem because you get your push on your side lane and then threaten these flanks so effectively. So have to keep up, you know, vision here to see about any of those rotations over. And we'll see what they can do to try and put a stop to that.
Goes in with the Shadow Dash. Tarzan does eat a bit of his health, but should be fine just to clear out this vision. Next Drake up in a minute's time. AL will be very happy to fight over it now that they're starting to get towards those first completed items. Tarzan's Sundered Sky, Eclipse complete for Flandre, Essence Reaver complete for Hope as well, who, although it hasn't been the focus in the same way that Shanks is still in a really strong position. By 800 gold ahead, has a 20 CS lead. It's been involved in 4 of the 5 kills for the team. Like, our eyes will be on Shanks, but if Hope is untouched, you still die, even if you kill Shanks.
Yep, has his cleanse as well in the game, so has the extra confidence to play aggressively. Let's see about that pincer move from the team. Plus, I mean, man, the Dark Seal at 6 stacks, also huge value there for Shanks, so the power for this dragon is unreal. Looks like they're going to drop the control ward here and set up, though.
Mid lane push for Hope is his key focus. Fast automation spotted, Inspired, and Busio in this bush. Tarzan coming in from the wings as well. Has the Keeper's Verdict. Talked already about how much that can change an objective play. Busio with a good hook, but the Solar Flare's going to land a double stun. Steadfast Peasant coming out, the Keeper's Verdict as well. Busio already down to the culling. Masu now chased out by Kyle and Hope. Tarzan looking for the flank position here. Will get the knock into the wall. The hammer shot, the Steadfast, the Stand United, in fact, onto Masu is not enough to keep him alive. Inspired, though, can begin to open up. Quad going in with the Spirit Rush. The public execution catches Inspired. And we said you got to watch Shanks in these fights. He wasn't even involved for AL.
Yeah, it was the 3-person move from mid lane. They just go straight into the river. They force it through onto Busio and blow up the Nautilus. Leona ultimate used, pop him down, and now just teleport right back out to the top side. They clean up that extra wave because Whippo, after his Stand United target just died, decided, you know what, I'm not coming, even though Flandre is going to join with his teleport. So they just make the switch and send Shanks back up to clean up that minion wave instead.
I feel like it's actually a window for FlyQuest to sneak the Drake away really quickly afterwards. So have another look at this fight. It's Kyle initiating alongside Tarzan and Hope.
Yeah, again, right out of that mid lane brush, really effective, and then able to lock him up with the stun, even though Inspired went for the kickback, only getting Kyle over the edge. The burst damage is there for AL, and then Tarzan on the inside route. Even with that through, they just kill off the target through the extra shield. Quad comes over and they try and salvage something, but since Flandre then had Whippo pushed under tower, he goes for the teleport.
Joins up the fight. Busio stepping a little bit far forward. Cedros Peasant's going to get the knock up onto Inspired. Solar Flare there for the follow-up. Inspired trying to dash away. Kicks back Kyle, but can't take the taxi to safety. Busio now being chased out by Tarzan and Shanks is on a rampage. This Aurora, so difficult to deal with. The Shadow Dash coming out for the taunt from Grippo. Looking at the damage on the Shank. Keeper's Verdict Knocks Brippo back. He's guilty. Flash forward from Tarzan. Flandre's here for a little piece of the action as well. 11-5 now for AL.
Oh, the skirmishes in the river here for AL just have been outstanding. They crush another one. Bwippo's here this time around. And he
gets it.
He at least got the crab with his Titanic.
Hope we'll be able to take the first tower of the game up towards this top side. We'll get the feats of strength over to AL as well. With those upgraded booties, but nice little steal there from Bwippo at the end. We'll have another look at this. Busio just taking a greedy path, let's be honest.
Yeah, these fights here through the jungle, Tarzan was lying in wait in the brush. So just as he comes over towards the wall, they get the burst damage. And then with Shanks there, they've got plenty to finish it off. They finish up that extra kill, chase down Busio. And then look at the mini-map as Bwippo had actually come over this time, used his teleport and has his Titanic, so trying to salvage something from it, but Tarzan's like, you know what? I'll just eject you from the area and then go for the flash play onto the corner against Masu.
Very happy faces all around from AL. Inspired jumping onto Flandre here. TP coming out as well. It's Quad joining the battle. Flandre forced back underneath this tower. Flash kick into the charm. Perfectly coordinated from FlyQuest to find a shutdown.
Nice play there. Inspired goes and finds it. They get the combo, as you say, kind of hands over the shutdown kill. Trying to breed some hope there for FlyQuest and trying to turn it into an objective afterwards as well. They should be able to do so.
That will be the second dragon of the game for FlyQuest. Is exchanged for a Rift Herald from Tarzan. The goal between Shanks and Quad now down below a K, only 600. But Hope has been the true beneficiary of the last few minutes. 2K the lead now he has over Masu. The Flicker Blades and the Essence Reaver complete as the hook goes in from Busio. Looking for Kael. Zenith Blade wide. Inspired dashes back with the Safeguard. Solar Flare will get the stun onto Masu, but he was able to satchel charge away. Inspired jumps back with the Safeguard. Rift Herald charges in as Bwippo goes deep. Zenith Blade onto him. Kael, the Sonic Wave hits, and the Mega Inferno Bomb is enough to kill off the Leona. The Rift Herald will continue to pound away on this tower until FlyQuest eventually kill it off. Shanks going in. Bwippo dashes across the wall. Shanks doesn't have a huge amount of mana, so doesn't want to continue this trading anymore.
FlyQuest here continuing to try and fight back and chop down a bit on that gold lead. Are able to get one for themselves, you know, put a stop to this duo. Kael and Tarzan that have just been menaces in here through the river, playing so well together as the jungle and support, and FlyQuest now biting back.
You look at the synergy between Tarzan and Kael as well. 1-2-8, 1-3-8. They kill together, they die together, they get assists together. Overall, great synergy.
FlyQuest chants erupt through the crowd, trying to rally here as they start to chop down a little on that gold lead.
They've shown fight throughout the series. Game 1 and Game 3 key examples of that. Question is, with a 2,000 gold lead, can FlyQuest find a way back against AL here? Next Drake in 3.5 minutes. Artican up in 10. It's in the bot side of the map this game. Shanks now finishes Bloodletter's Curse on this Aurora as well.
Yep. That's that double mass build in full effect. Pretty big spike. Looks like he refunded it a little bit there.
Did he undo it? Looks like it. Went for a Fiendish Codex instead. Okay. Maybe feeling he doesn't need the Bloodletter's Curse yet.
Merc treads. Wants to avoid getting locked up. And again, still has so many stacks because of the Dark Seal here. So much AP there. So it feels like he has enough threat.
Where are FlyQuest looking? Currently for a pick down towards this bottom side. There's no tier 1 here to defend Shanks. Kael will get a little bit of vision in. Inspired spotted, as is Masu, as they path towards top.
And Bwippo with the slight experience lead there, though no Stand United available, so it would have to be teleports if they wanted to answer. And for that, you have to get really far out of range of Flandre, since Flandre can interrupt it with his own ulti. So they would have to back off, and that's why he's walking down the river right now. FlyQuest looking for something.
Quad has 10 stacks on the Rod of Ages and the Leandries. The hook's going to go in from Busio. Kael knocked back as well. TP coming in from Shanks, looking for that flank that we talked about so much. Bwippo, the first target. Tarzan will slam him into the wall between worlds. Go Shanks and onto the back line. Go anyone's legends. 2 more kills over to the LPL #1 seeds. As FlyQuest lick their wounds, try and gain control over this mid wave. The Artican will be begun by Tarzan and by Hope. I don't think AL really needs to send anyone else over there to secure it.
Yeah, FlyQuest were trying to find their pick there, but AL, the counter was made possible by Flandre's Poppy ultimate. Big ejection there meant that Bwipo was alone when the teleport arrived, and now down to that bottom side of the map that you're talking about. They should be able to finish it off in time before FlyQuest can actually make their way through, but they go for the pick.
It goes in for the kick onto Shanks, but he still has the flash and gets away. Quad with the charm onto Tarzan, has another Spirit Rush, but no real follow-up after it. Mega and Photobomb, Inspired jumps onto Tarzan. The Stand United coming out as well as Bwipo joins the fray. Tarzan with the steadfast presence, Inspired can't get on, but FlyQuest continues to fight. Hope dashing away into the vision out of range for Bwipo. Hope comes back in, and Busio will fall as well. For a moment, it looked superb for FlyQuest, but AL were having none of it.
Yeah, the idea there from FlyQuest is that when Bwipo comes back up, he's got a second at most on his Stand United. So when he arrives, they want to try and like make the play a little bit long here while Otacon was being taken. But even with that burst damage, not quite able to finish off their kill onto Kyle. Then Masu flashes over, he gets that one. But still, it's just so much damage done from Hope, dashing away. The Lucian that you mentioned early on, able to survive this one and finish it off. So AL remain with 3 members. After the fight, FlyQuest were kind of sending that one to try and pull the game back, make use of the Stand United and draw out the play. But AL with another counter.
And we were talking about it earlier. It's like, yes, you can kill Shanks, but if Hope's still alive, you're just dead. Importantly for FlyQuest, though, Masu picked up 2 big kills in that fight, including a shutdown onto Shanks. So he will be accelerating in terms of where he was gold-wise. Vision cleared out here by FlyQuest around this Drake. Would be sole point for them. Inspired goes in. Tarzan very deep, but Shanks comes between worlds across the wall. Dev charge going out. Quad with the chase. Inspired jumps across the wall as well, but they can't land anything onto this Aurora. Inspired's going to have to try and jump away. Lands a Sonic Wave, but there's not much follow-up. Quad jumping away towards the top side, but Busio's already down, and AL have massive health bars to work with. Quad underneath the tower should be able to survive, but should just be the dragon over to anyone's legend. Masu still getting chased down. Hope with the culling, and Masu is culled. AL get 3 out of the exchange, and they might not even turn their eyes towards the Drake. It looks like they're going to push through 2 lanes.
Now it looks like the #1 seed from the LPL closing in on FlyQuest territory after that last fight, just ballooning the gold lead here, and the power of the Otacon exploding here with all the extra flowers and the on-death effect. They can start to deny the Dragons now with this much of a gold lead and the powerful solo lane champions we were talking about. Now they can begin to really control the map.
Yeah, it's such an explosion, and you understand why FlyQuest forced the way they did. Like, it makes perfect sense. They were falling behind in the game. There were a couple of moments where it's like, well, maybe around the Otacon we can fight, maybe around this Drake we can fight, but because AL then win out on those exchanges, it's gold leads across the board. It's blue, 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 down towards the bottom side. 3,000 gold lead for Hope, and even Flandre, who was struggling early into Bwipo, is now 2K ahead.
Yep, now the lead's all on the sides of AL. Huge, huge advantage. And the setup for Baron is dangerous because AL have so many pick tools that they can just turn off and turn on FlyQuest ever so quickly. So FlyQuest have to be so careful when trying to keep up vision. They're looking for one of the miracle setups now. Try and find some sort of skirmish to get back into this game. That is kind of your only hope at the moment. So they're doing a little trailing play at the moment. As you see, the Ahri was going behind Bwipo, but as Flandre just backs off, they have to call off on that one.
AL investing their resources on gaining control of this top side. You can see Tarzan over by the red buff right now. They have Vision over there as well. Mega Inferno Bomb invested to see if this Baron was even being done by AL. Have a couple of fast alterations on FlyQuest's side. Inspired looking for the flank here himself. Who are you going for? Hope doesn't have the flash, does have the cleanse. Kyle, pretty tanky. As Hope dashes away, the tower falls.
Teleport comes in. Here's the flank from Aurora.
Shanks. It's Shanks on the flank. Quad tries to go in, but the charm's only going to land onto Kyle. Hope with a depth charge on him. Quad chasing over with the Spirit Rush as well. Inspired looking for the kickback. Hope dashing away, and Inspired will secure the kill. Meanwhile, on the top side of the fight, Brooklyn's keeping Flandre at bay as Tarzan jumps back in. Inspired down. Shanks here to join the party, untouched so far. Flandre should be able to kill off Whippo as the Ambessa wins out against the Shen. Busio falls as well. And yes, you killed Hope, but it still reigns eternal for AL.
Their flank wards left out on the map. They get their teleports in, and they delete FlyQuest. They will also delete that Baron and look to push and end the game.
Yeah, the take will be a little bit slower than AL would like. Hope being dead means their DPS isn't quite as high as it could be, but with 2.5 minutes on the next Drake, AL, I mean, you could wait for 4 seconds here if you're AL.
Yeah,
Yep, they're going to do it. They'll wait for Hope to spawn. It looks like the overlay 2 seconds delayed there as Hope was alive, I believe, when that Baron was taken. So let's have another look at this fight, because you can see what FlyQuest are trying to do. As soon as TP comes in, it's like, okay, turn, turn, turn.
Yeah, exactly. FlyQuest trying to get the objective bounty first, and then it was just a snapshot here from AL. Flanks come in very quickly. Shanks was the first one to teleport in. He just deleted Masu. Down the other side, FlyQuest were trying to get something back for themselves, but as soon as Flandre also channeled his teleport, they just closed the trap shut. Yeah, he's like, oh man, the Aurora flank comes in, just deletes me immediately.
I'm just dead in that sort of situation. At the moment, FlyQuest don't really have anyone playing on the mid lane wave. Quad is now spotted on this vision. Hope was on the inhibitor tower. Kyle keeping Inspired busy as Quad spots the Spirit Rush. Whippo looking to engage as well. Tarzan can't quite land the stun. Kyle falling low. Zenith Blade into Solar Flare, but the satchel out means that Shanks is now on the back line. Flandre jumping in as well. Shanks able to dash away. Quad having to flash himself. Busio forced low down towards the bottom side. Tarzan looking for the chase. Will land the stun into the wall. The follow-up not coming out from the rest of AL. They will knock down this inhibitor tower though, as FlyQuest continue to defend.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, to be able to get a kill for FlyQuest is probably the best scenario there, so at least they do get one back, but with the Baron buff, with the giant gold lead, it's still going to be AL. Taking your jungle resources as well. Dragon will be spawning. It's not a very, impactful dragon, but still should be able to immediately reset and go over there. FlyQuest here, right back out to it, even though they have this 9,000 gold deficit they need to try and cut down from. That's got to be the angle here. If you can get some sort of vision advantage here, they're looking to try and pick somebody off.
I mean, a good inspired flank, like Flash Kick, works really well. You've got the Charm follow-up, you've got Busio's Hook for follow-up. You can just assassinate one person.
Problem is, Kyle is back up and he has rejoined the team. So AL stand 5 strong.
Quad looking for that flank. Public execution going in. The charm lands onto Shanks and delays enough, it feels, here for Quad. Flandre looking for the chase. Shanks coming in from the side as well. The rest of FlyQuest, well, there's the Stand United. I was going to say they've left Quad out to dry, but the Stand United didn't really do much. Whippo jumped on by Tarzan as Kyle goes across the wall as well with the Zenith Blade. Good double knock with the Keeper's Verdict. Inspired dashes in, knocks back Hope, and Hope is down. Hope is dead, but perhaps reignited for FlyQuest as Kyle is low as well. Flandre with a good flank position. Matsu caught out. Tarzan will kill off Inspired with the help of Shanks. And for a moment it looked bright for FlyQuest, but AL still 4 members strong. Only Whippo and Busio left to defend.
And they're going to have a tough time of it just being 2 tanks here. So AL, they run straight through these towers, straight through these inhibitors with the Baron buff. The onslaught continues.
Baron just expiring here, maybe enough for FlyQuest to hold on to the game. That was a Baron up cannon minion. I think it may have spelt the demise of FlyQuest's hopes in this series, but for now they'll hold on. Still 12,000 gold in the hole. The Dragon's still available for AL. At first they'll take away everything they can from this FlyQuest jungle.
And if we look back at this series, AL have done a lot of different things. In the second game, they utilized, split pushing really well. Flandre just basically solo bolos. And then in the second game, all about their 5-on-5 team fight. Shanks farming up, carrying with the Azir. And now in this game, the skirmishes in the early river with a lot of early movements from Kyle and Tarzan. Very nice versatility shown by the LPL #1 seed in this series. FlyQuest as well, fighting very valiantly, trying to craft their style. Game #1, very, very good for them.
I think game #1 and game #3 are the two games from FlyQuest that inspired me the most. I think game #3, maybe we underestimated their draft and the damage output from it, but I really felt like they were in a big hole in that game and they were able to fight back and get really close. It's like a couple of milliseconds between them winning those fights and them losing those fights. They have tenacity, you know, and that is always inspiring to see. Gone are the days of roll over and die versus the LCK and the LPL. For now, that tenacity needs to find roots somewhere for FlyQuest as they are very much on the ropes. AL going to push through this top side. Mid inhib and bot inhib still 3 minutes away from respawning for FlyQuest.
Here it is. It's going to have to be the FlyQuest miracle. And they dig deep. Down so far in gold. And AL knocking on the door.
Quad looking to see perhaps if he can catch out Flandre, but everyone on AL so tanky now that FlyQuest don't really have an easy avenue to approach. Quad, public execution goes in. There's the steadfast presence into the solar flame, into the keeper's verdict, into Quad dashing away, but inspired. And Bwipo are just gone. They no longer exist on the mortal plane, and nor do the rest of FlyQuest. AL have paved their way to the LCK on the bones of the LTA. A matchup with Genji awaits, as FlyQuest will have to settle for G2.
AL close it out in style. Nice snowball from them. Flandre too at the end just sees Quad, goes immediately for it, starts it out.